What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Pace Studios here in Midtown Manhattan, New York City. We are really, really lucky and proud to be joined today by Tyminski.
Hello, hello. So happy to be here.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's great to have you. You are also known as Dan Tyminski.
I do have a first name, yes.
Yeah, and that's what it's going to be today, anyway. You got a new record just came out called Southern Gothic.
I do. I have a record out on Universal Music. So proud. It's a collection of songs that I've worked on over the past couple of years, and I'm just so thrilled to get to play some for you.
Yeah, great. I'm going to ask you about the record, a little bit later. But right now, you're gonna open with a song. Let me know what this one's going to be.
Oh my gosh. Wow, that was quick. Okay, so I thought I was going to get to settle down first. That's okay. We'll go.
You can.
No, I'm
going to
try.
Tell a long
no,
story of the song and its birth.
I'm gonna try the title track. This is not a song that really is. I never played this song. This is not a guitar like vocal song. Mm-hmm. When you hear the record, you'll know what I mean. Like there's a lot of music that I am incapable of playing, but I'm gonna give you my version here. We're gonna dress it down. I'm gonna play the title track called Southern Gothic. Blackbird on the old church steeple, Spanish moss hanging in the setting sun. Every house has got a Bible and a loaded gun. We got preachers and politicians. Round here it's kinda hard to tell which one is gonna do more talking with a crooked tongue. This town's got the good Lord shaking his head, looking down thinking we ain't heard a word he said. Word he said. Baptized in Southern Gothic, in the garden of good and evil. The devil right here, who would have thought it? In a town full of God-fearing people, dogs and deadbolts guard the night. Nothing left to do but kneel and pray. We got a church on every corner, so why does heaven feel so far away? There must be something in the muddy water, turns a whiskey about as sweet as sin. Every drunk in town can sing a brown bag hymn. Good fences make good neighbors. Good neighbors make good lovers too. When your man ain't home, any man will do. High on homegrown, smoking that brimstone. Mama ain't stopping, popping that cotton. No happy ever after, waiting on the rapture now. Baptized in Southern Gothic, in the garden of good and evil. The devil right here, who would have thought it? In a town full of God-fearing people, dogs and deadbolts guard the night. Nothing left to do but kneel and pray. We got a church on every corner, so why does heaven feel so far away? Far away. Southern Gothic, Southern Gothic, Southern Gothic.
Thanks very much.
Oh, thanks for letting me try that. That was That's a fun one to play. Actually, it turns out. Who would have known?
Who would have known?
Who would have known? I didn't play on the record, so it's new music to me.
I feel like I knew. I'm shocked you didn't know. So let's talk about this record, because this is you're known as a bluegrass guy. Both as a solo musician and with Alison Krauss and various other, of course, the Oh Brother Where Art Thou soundtrack. But this is a different record for you. It's got a very different sound. I heard a lot of pop sounds, big beats, some programming back there. a lot of sounds. What brought you to this? This project?
There's a lot going on this record that is so fresh to me and new. I got the chance to start writing songs with people in Nashville. I took a publishing deal with 1010 Publishing, Barry Coburn, a couple years ago to try to utilize my time in Nashville that I had off, from touring with Allison and Union Station, and I started writing songs with people. I met, a lot of, so there's so many, first of all, so many great songwriters in Nashville. It's just crazy. I was intimidated, every room I walked into. But I ultimately found myself in a room with Jesse Frazier, and Sarah Buxton was actually on our first write. But I just had a connection with Jesse. I found him to be not only brilliant, but really brave. He was willing to go anywhere to search for what, rather than to try to find something that's already been done and say, hey, let's do something like that, which a lot of songwriters, believe it or not, say. He wanted to do something different. And I met a kindred spirit. I loved him immediately. Found myself writing more songs with him. At first, not for this record. We were just writing songs for other people, but we were taking them in new directions. So it was really fun to get to do. I finally reached a point where I found that I was really jealous about some of the songs that I had. I wanted to do them myself. It was a strange feeling for me because I've not spent a lot of my time creating. I've always found other songs and played them. So when I found that I was given an opportunity by Universal Music Group, and they asked if I would be, interested in doing this record, and I found myself, I found the scales at that point had tipped to the side where if there were any way I had a chance to honor this music that I was making, I would do it. And it's turned into this record entitled Southern Gothic. Yeah,
so in terms of getting from just sort of writing songs in Nashville to putting your name on this record and making it your own, was everything that we hear on the record, because this is such an unusual album, in my experience, listening to your voice, it's certainly not what I was expecting to hear. It's all new, sort of an all new style. It's like bluegrass and Americana music fused into a much more modern sound.
It is. There are a lot of worlds collide in this music.
Yeah. So was this always the record? I mean, as you were writing these songs and putting it together, was this the record that you really envisioned in your head, or were there surprises and?
The record that I really think it was talking it over with Jesse. I think we had two different opinions of what the record might be. I mean, I know Jesse in the early stages, and probably still now at this stage, said that what tied this record together was my voice, that it was singing this message over new tracks of music. Now, when it came down to the production and the music, I really let Jesse Frazier steer. I wanted, I found myself in someone's presence who drew influences from far outside of what I was capable of doing, and everything that we did, song by song, we just tried to honor each song. We didn't really work early on a theme. Yeah. It turns out that, there is a theme to my songwriting, that I write a lot about the truths of my life and a lot of reflection of what's going on in the world around me. Mm-hmm. And I try not to tell people, I don't want to tell people what to do, what not to do, but I do love to make people aware that there's a lot going on and we should be looking at it.
Yeah. Well, I want to ask you more about sort of the ideas on this record and more about that. But first, why don't we play another song? Tell me about the second one you're going to do for us from the record.
Okay, I'll do a song. I'm going to say for a while. I'll be saying this for every song. One I've never played. This is a song I wrote with Ashley Monroe and Paul Moak. It's there's just a lot of dark truth in it. I'll let the song tell its own story. It's called "The Devil Is Downtown." Voice of an angel, the face of a friend. If you're running for trouble, well, he'll take you in. He'll hear your confessions with a promise of grace. The devil is downtown. It's a hell of a place. Anything you can ask for, whatever you need, It's there for the taking, but nothing is free. The lights and the music, the smell and the taste. The devil is downtown. It's a hell of a place. If you're searching, if you're looking for a change, go where you can see the stars, and they don't seem so far away. But if you're hurting and you need to kill the pain, the devil is downtown. The devil is downtown. Anything you can ask for, whatever you need, it's there for the taking, but nothing is free. The lights and the music, the smell and the taste. The devil is downtown. It's a hell of a place. If you're searching, if you're looking for a change, go where you can feel the stars. They don't seem so far away. But if you're hurting and you need to kill the pain, the devil is downtown. The voice of an angel, the face of a friend. The devil is downtown, and he'll take you in.
You know, that song, both songs, Southern Gothic and Devil's Downtown, these are dark themes, and that's what I think of when I think of Southern Gothic. I think of darkness, I think of decay, I think of sort of a history that is outgrowing itself. What is that term? You know, why kind of land on that term for this record? What does it mean to you?
Well, we found ourselves with a well of material that really did kind of show the contrast between the dark and the light. You know, I mean, there is some positive. There's a little positive music on this record as well, but there's a lot of what I see when I look around. I see contrast. I see hypocrisy. I see there's just a lot of stuff that I've found a way to sing about. And I think that, you know, the treatment of the music and the tracks, we tried to make everything very appropriate to the message of each song. So it sounds like, you know, like you go through this record and it's not necessarily a country record. It's not necessarily a pop record. There's a lot of different genre influence in this record, but the message is just holding up a mirror to society and asking the world to take a look around.
Yeah, and is that something that you had in your mind as you wrote each of these songs? It was sort of a through line going through the whole thing?
It's something I think I discovered after having written songs for a little while, that was a theme that I kind of worked off of subliminally that I wasn't aware of until we started really holding up a looking glass to this stuff, and I kind of realized, wow, you know, this is kind of how I write.
Yeah, and those songs and how you write. I mean, you were saying earlier, it's normally from a personal place. It's your own experiences, your own observations.
As much truth as I can possibly weave in a song. Yes.
Right. And so, what is it? So, you know, I'm the idea of like the Southern Gothic and
so,
kind of situating it there.
Yeah. So here's how that was born. And I'd love to talk about the creation of that song, because this was an interesting one for me, and it was definitely the turning point for wanting to even consider doing anything solo. I wrote that song with Josh Keir and Jesse Frazier, and I remember we had started to write at 11 o'clock in the morning and written from 11 till 1:30, at which point we decided to evaluate and see where we were at with the song. We all three agreed we didn't really love what we were working on and decided to call it a day, and as we were packing up, Jesse said, "You guys want to hear one more groove? Just, it's still pretty early." I was like, "Yeah, I mean, I would love to write a song today. Let's, what do you got?" And he played just what ends up being the bare bones of this. He had done some work earlier in the morning and created a little mood. Mm-hmm. And when we listened to it, I remember Josh saying, that's kind of creepy and vibey. I dig that. He says it kind of has like a goth feel. Like, it's kind of gothic. And Jesse said, "Well, if we're going to get Dan to sing it, it's got to be Southern Gothic." So it was said initially as kind of a joke, but when he said it, kind of everybody's light bulb went off, and we all immediately did the same thing. We Googled Southern Gothic and discovered that there was a whole Southern Gothic movement. I mean, there was just so much information. There was such a deep well to choose from of what we wanted to write about. But we didn't necessarily know we were working on a theme for a record when we created that song. We created that song out of, innocently, the way any songwriter would, stumble on a topic and write. But the really cool thing about that is not only did it end up being the title song, the theme for this record, that song was written, created, recorded. I mean, we started that song at 1:30 in the afternoon, and we finished it in its entirety at 4:30.
Wow.
That song was done. We literally just had that song mixed. Everything you hear on the title track of this record was created and finished in 3 hours.
Including the lyrics. You wrote all the words.
No, we wrote all the words, sang all the singing, all the vocal, everything.
Yeah.
Literally.
Wow.
It was the entire creation was one of those meant to be moments, like you look back and you just know that you could not have possibly, made that happen.
Planned
That's
it.
a gift,
Yeah,
that's
right.
just, that was given to us.
And you, of course, are from Vermont. So
I am.
So, makes
Making
perfect
it
sense.
perfect
right?
sense, but I tell people I'm from Southern Vermont, so if that helps, we'll stay with that.
Where the Gothic happens. If you're going to be in Vermont,
up there
the
with
Gothic
that,
happens in the southern part.
up
right?
there with that guy who invented the lobster. Yeah, you know
right.
what I mean.
That's
right.
So you're going to do one more for us today, but I think not from the record. This one.
So this is just one. I love to end with this song because it's just like it's a party, and it's the song that easily, got my name out there into the world, and it's one of those songs that we just want to connect the dots here. If you like this song, please go check out Southern Gothic and put on a seatbelt, because you got to be ready for that one. Well, in constant sorrow all through his day, I am a man of constant sorrow. I've seen trouble all my days. I bid farewell to old Kentucky, the place where I was born and raised, the place where he was born and raised. 6 long years I've been in trouble, but no pleasure here on earth I found. For in this world I'm bound to ramble. I have no friends to help me now. He has no friends to help him now. Maybe your friends think I'm just a stranger. My face you never will see no more. But there is one promise that is given. I'll meet you on God's golden shore. He'll meet you on God's golden shore.
I gotta tell you, it takes all my willpower to not just jump in on the harmony part.
I'll do it again if you'll jump in.
Yeah, well, we'll record another one just for me.
We will record one we got a whole room full of people. I said I had no friends. I'm looking like, come on, people, sing with me. Let's go.
I mean, I'm sitting in front of a microphone, And it takes all I got not to sing, he's got no friends to help him around.
And I noticed your bottom looked a little soggy.
Yeah, well,
you could. I
think that's the stool. It's not me.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I had a spill.
It's a soggy stool.
That was my fault.
That is gross. Okay. Anyway, so this is Dan Tyminski, a.k.a. Tyminski. And he's got a new record out. It's called Southern Gothic. Just came out. Came out last week, right?
The 20th. Yeah, 20th. October 20th.
Right. So everyone has got to go hear this record because it's not like anything you've heard from Tyminski or Dan Tyminski before. And it's really something special. So the website also, TyminskiMusic.com. I saw one date you got lined up. I'm not sure if there's a tour or anything coming around, but
we have I've assembled a band of great guys. We're gonna absolutely go out on tour. We're still putting that together right now. So yeah, please look forward to a tour.
All right, cool. Yeah, but everyone pick up Southern Gothic and catch Tyminski when it comes around town. Thank you so much.
It has been my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
This is the Pay Studio, everyone. Tyminski, come back and play anytime, man.
Please let me back. I'll play again.
All right.